Hello and welcome back to Beyond 50. It's been a pretty busy week and a half, and I'm going to try a little different format on this video. Usually when I've done some of these videos, I would record it all and then do voiceover over some of the edits, and I think I'm going to do this a little backwards. I'm going to talk through, I'm going to see if this works. This may turn out awful, I don't know. But I'm going to talk through everything here, sitting by the fireplace. And then I'm going to go through and throw over just over the top of some of this footage that I took over the last week in what's been a very busy week. I didn't capture everything, but there's been a lot of stuff going on here. So projects and stuff that got started off, still not completely on the projects I want to be on, but we're getting closer. So the first thing that we got done this was a little over a week ago, and we're pushing the end of last week. I got a level 2 charger installed for my EV truck, which was necessary because over the last couple of weeks, I've just not having a good place to charge it has become more and more of a problem. It meant a lot more trips to the Walmart parking lot and then hoping that they'd have an open charger and that I'd be able to charge it up. So not the best thing. I'll talk more in a future video about some more EV stuff, my thoughts on it, my thoughts on specifically the F-150 Lightning, which, spoiler alert, I really like. It's been a great vehicle. But then some of the caveats that come with it. So overall, I'd say it's great. But again, spoiler alert, I don't know that I'd recommend it for somebody that's driving 200 miles a day, or if you don't have the ability to charge at home like I do now. So there was that. That was actually a pretty involved bit of work because I didn't have electrical setup in my garage that was in a way that could support an EV. I didn't have 240 out in the garage. In fact, my garage was the electricity connection to my garage was definitely not up to code. So there was a electrical line that was buried underground, running off the same circuit as my laundry room. So even with the 110 charger, if I was charging my truck and I was running the dryer at the same time, it would overload the circuit for the dryer. So it was not great. So ran new heavy gauge line out to the garage. So the garage is now on its own 100 amp circuit, which can then also now power its own circuit just for the charger. But that required digging a trench. I dug the trench. It was a lot of work. I was very tired. I'm not used to that sort of work. And so I was very tired after doing that. And then the electricians took almost 2 days to get everything set up, just because there was so much to do here to get it done the right way. But I'm really happy that it's done now. I'm really grateful to the electricians that came out here and did the work. They did a fantastic job. And now I can I've got that set up and we can do that. There's been some other car stuff that's gone on. The Amy's car, my wife's car, has been having some electrical issues, specifically with the charger or the battery staying charged. We had replaced the alternator on it through a shop a couple of years ago. It's no longer in warranty. And it looks like that alternator is starting to fail again, which has led to several incidents of her car breaking down in the middle of nowhere, and then me spending a bunch of time trying to get it back here and fix it. And then I've been doing various things of troubleshooting and trying to determine exactly what's wrong. It's been difficult because it doesn't reproduce 100% of the time. Sometimes the alternator will work, sometimes it won't, which has made it difficult with working with shops and stuff. So yesterday I spent all day pulling the alternator out of the car. I don't know that I would recommend buying another Pathfinder or another Nissan vehicle to anyone, given how difficult it was to pull the alternator out of this car. It was ridiculous. It took probably 5 hours, and I had help from a mechanic friend who was an actual mechanic for a dealer, not Nissan. And he knows what he's doing, and even with his help, getting that alternator out of there was a huge ordeal. I've got it at somebody who's taking a look at the alternator now and will repair it, and then it's going to be a whole other ordeal of putting it back in. I don't know how I feel about that. It's not going to be great. Other things that went on, just a little bit of a story, and again, there'll be some video as we're going over this. I rescued my boat. Not the boat that you've seen in the driveway in the other videos. I have another boat that's a small aluminum dinghy that came with the house. And when we bought the house, the people that we bought the house said, "Do you want a boat?" And we said, "Sure, well, I'll take this boat." And it's just been it was down in my forest, down by the water for a couple of years. And then about 2 years ago, I had the idea of I could turn it into a fishing boat. And I hooked up an electric trolling motor to it, put a battery in it, and I also put a little bilge pump in it that you can see here in the video. Because what happens is a little boat like this, it just fills up with rainwater all the time. And so by the end of this summer, it was mostly full of rainwater. I knew I had to dump it out because the battery was dead, and so the bilge pump wasn't bilging or pumping, and so that was a whole problem. And then the storm happened. So the same storm from a couple of videos ago happened, and as I got up that morning and I went to look around and see what the damage from the storm was, the first thing, I went down to the dock. I don't know why. I thought, I should walk down to the water and see how things are going. And the boat was gone. And I had no idea where the boat was. And I figured it was kind of a problem for later because there were so many other things going on at that moment. And then I walked out by the street, and I was, I ran into some of my neighbors, and one of the neighbors said, "Hey, I found this boat down in the canal yesterday, floating by my house, and I rescued it, and I pulled it up into my dock." And he thought it was a different neighbor's, and I said, "Oh wait, that's mine. That's my boat. I will get that boat from you. I'll take it back. Don't worry about it." And it took a few weeks. And then this last week, I went down there. I pulled the battery out. I went through a whole problem of, even though it was a deep cycle marine battery, it had been drained so far that it wouldn't charge. I was able to recondition it with my battery charger and get it charged again. And then I took it back there and I drained it. And I was pretty sure that somewhere through draining the boat, rowing it back to my house or something, I was going to fall in the water and get soaking wet. So the footage is all from the GoPro because I didn't want to take the Osmo down there and potentially get it in the water, or take my phone down there and get it in the water. And so there was that. I also have a little bit of footage from I just recorded as I was walking up the hill to the house, so you can kind of see what the backyard looks like. Because so far, everything I've filmed in this channel has been in my driveway, and nobody's seen what my backyard looks like. So this is a little bit of footage from the backyard walking up, and a little footage of the deck and everything else that's back there. Other things this feels like a lot. This is a lot so far that we've covered. The other thing was I started on the garage project. And the garage project is really going to be the big project for Beyond 50 and this channel over the next few months. There's a couple other things that are coming on the horizon, but this is going to be the big one. So there's a little bit of footage of the garage before I started, and really there's a few things. One, there's too much stuff, it's cluttered. And I got to get rid of a lot of this stuff. So even from when this video was taken that you're seeing here of what's in the garage, I pulled a lot of stuff out, took it to storage, organized a bunch of stuff. It's quite a bit cleaner now, but there's a whole bunch more that's going to have to happen this week. And then we're going to start renovating this garage. So I'm going to tear down the walls in the garage. I'm going to tear down the upper loft because it's too low and I can't walk in there without hitting my head. And so that's kind of the plan for the loft over the next, or the garage over the next couple of months. They'll get it all wired in. And so really getting the EV charger and the electrical setup out there first was really like step one. Now the next step is get it cleaned out, and then we're going to do some demo in there, and then insulation, drywall, get it all set up to be sort of a nicer space that's a little bit more usable than what it is right now. So This is just sort of a quick summary of everything that's been going on in this space, in my space for the last couple of weeks. I don't know if anybody cares. Oh, one last thing. I also made a video and posted it of Franklin 2424 and I doing some photography stuff at the Seahawks game. So if you haven't seen that video, go back, check it out, and put a comment on which your favorite video was, or which your favorite picture in that video was, so that it can, so that I have some vote and know which is the best picture from there. So, all right, thanks a lot for checking out the channel, coming back and seeing what's up. Been a bunch more exciting stuff on the horizon for things that will be coming over the next couple of weeks and the next couple of months that we'll be doing around here. And the content's hopefully going to be coming a little bit more frequently, and it'll be maybe a little bit more interesting. So with that, thank you very much. Good night. Like, subscribe. We'll see you again. Thanks for checking us out.